say
All right,
Taco
welcome
Tuesday? Oh,
Braves
right,
fans
yeah.
coming to you live from the campus of St. Mary's High School for Game 7 of the 2025 season. As your 5-1 Council Grove Braves will take on the 3-3 St. Mary's Bears. Want to wish both teams the best of luck tonight in this district matchup. We're streaming live on the Flint Hills Life channel TCT, and it will be audio and video tonight. So shout out to the St. Mary's High School for hooking up Mindy and our crew. Reintroduce a familiar person behind the scenes, Mindy Andrews, technical supervisor and camera operator. Our color man is Jason Heath, and I'm Justin Carlson to be on the play-by-play. Going to sneak away here for a few minutes, and we will get you Coach Reddick's weekly press conference, which is sponsored by the Council Grove Republican. You're listening to the pregame show on the Flint Hills Live channel and TCT.
The Deuce.
This is Justin Carlson, the play-by-play voice of the Council Grove Braves on the Flint Hills Life channel and TCT. Our weekly coaches show is sponsored by the Council Grove Republican. I'm excited to welcome in your head coach for the Braves in his first season, head coach Darren Reddick. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Hey, Coach Reddick, last week the Braves responded in a big way, getting a 55-8 win over Central Heights. With this being a non-district game, was there any concern leading up to last week during practice or just kind of the feeling of the team to kind of just overlook Central Heights and just keep looking ahead to St. Mary's this week? Was there any that look-ahead game feel last week?
Yeah, initially in the week, whenever we have that non-district game, there is a little bit of that factors in. But our kids, I thought they responded well through the week. We made sure to keep the main focus for the week. So, we really zoned in on Central Heights and felt like we had a good game plan for that and just putting the kids in the best position possible. And, felt like the kids took it pretty serious and they played pretty well Friday night. So it was a good game for us.
Absolutely, and we're going to start offensively. Anytime you put up 55 points, chances are you get contributions from a ton of different guys. And just to kind of highlight a few, Luke with 4 passing and a rushing TD. In the run game, Reed and Blaze both got a rushing TD, highlighted by Blaze almost getting 140 yards on the ground. And that doesn't even include the stuff that he got, in the punt return, kickoff return game. And got to give a shout-out to Cooper Andrews, 76 yards. Used him a little more, and he looked solid. And then, of course, Logan Grady and Mason had a huge day with 4 TD catches. And what did you see from your offense Friday night? Because there was a lot of good stuff to look at.
Yeah, it was a lot of good balance, Like you just said, you just mentioned a lot of kids that all either scored or had decent yardage performances. It seemed like we had, 7 or 8 skilled players that were really doing a good job Friday night. Didn't really allow the defense to key in on any one player. And Luke did a good job of just finding the open man, took some shots downfield. And also for Luke, it was good for him kind of getting back. His first game back was that Osage City game from that injury. So I think that Central Heights game was a good kind of settle-in game for him, and we're excited what our offense looks like going forward.
Okay, shifting gears. Defensively, for me, we got to start up front. Not only offensively, but defensively specifically, between Tyler Hutchison, Caden Hewitt, Maddox Ziegler, Gunnar Gleason, and I may have forgotten a couple of your big boys up front, but they were literally living in the backfield all night long and in most cases almost making contact with the ball carrier the moment that they received a handoff. And it was just so much fun to watch the penetration you guys got up front. What did you see from your defense as a whole?
Yeah, I was really impressed with our guys up front. I think Central Heights changed up their blocking scheme a little bit, and we're really put the focus on taking our Mike linebacker out, which a lot of people have to respect that position, with us usually having Bradley Dornboss in that position. For that game, since Bradley was out, we moved Reed Buttry there, and it allowed Tyler Hutchinson and Gunnar Gleason and Caden Hewitt to see a lot of one-on-one blocks or, be unblocked and read, and they read their keys well. They squeezed when they needed to squeeze. They contained when they needed to contain. And then Maddox Ziegler came in there a little bit later at nose after Tyler was out, and he did a wonderful job at nose. And, we got plenty of others in there that came in and did a good job. Leo Solis, Logan Stockwell played some DN for us as well. So it was good to see that unit perform well as a whole.
All right. And then coming into this week, this would be the final regular season road trip that you make before we get into St. Mary's. And I know it's been kind of a long, tough physical season, and that's just basically what happens in football. And as you're getting everybody as healthy as they can be this week, and then how have they responded in practice for the last trip on the road in the regular season to St. Mary's?
Yeah, I think health has been something kind of up and down for us this year. We got a little bit banged up earlier this week in practice. We'll be out a starter this week for Friday that we hadn't planned for, but we've gotten some other dudes healthy, so it's just part of the game, man. Like everybody knows, football's a game where you put yourself physically on the line, so injuries happen. I think our kids have kept a good mentality throughout the week with that. Also, your question about going on the road, I think our kids are excited to be playing this game on the road. They know that there's a lot at stake here. We got to win these next 2 games in order to really host a playoff game. So, it kind of already feels like a playoff game a little bit in that sense. We're going to do the best we can to give these seniors another opportunity after that Silver Lake game. So, I think our kids' heads are in the right space. So, excited to see what happens.
Okay, and then you touched on it, and again, just for the reminder for those listening here to the pregame show, this Friday the Braves will make a trip to St. Mary's for a district game that will have a lot of big playoff implications. The Bears are coming in at 3-3 with wins over Perry, Lecompton, Jeff West, and Riley County. Their losses have come to Rossville, Silver Lake, and Osage City. What do you expect to see from the Bears on both sides of the ball? And just looking at statistics offensively, it appears they run the ball and throw the ball fairly well.
Yeah, they're a very talented team. They're a talented offense. They're balanced. They do have their running back is very talented. I'd say he's one of the best players in our district and one of the best players in 2A football. So we have to do our best to contain him. He's going to get his at times, but we got to make sure that we don't let that blow up in our faces, and we got to contain those other players. So a lot of athleticism on the perimeter. A good offensive line, a quarterback who's a good dual threat player. They're physical on defense, good speed. They're able to be pretty multiple in their scheme there defensively. So it's going to be a good game, but these are the games that you get excited about. That's one cool thing about our district. Every single one of these games matters. Every single game feels like a big game because it is a big game. So we got 2 top 10 teams in 2A, and we're going to figure out Friday night who's better.
All right, sounds good, Coach. And again, I want to wish you the best of luck Friday night as we head on the road to take on the St. Mary's Bears. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
That was our weekly press conference with head coach Darren Reddick on the Flint Hills Live channel and TCT, sponsored by the Council Grove Republican. All right, welcome back. Thank you, Mindy. Moving on to other sports at Council Grove High School, beginning with our cross-country team coached by Joshua Gant. Had a kind of a busy last week or so. They made a trip last Saturday at the Riley County Invitational Leonardville at the Sand Green Golf Course. Normally. But the Sand Greens last Saturday, and they did quite well, coming in 7th place as a team. Placing 6th overall with a time of 17:33 is junior Jaden Picolette. Carter Bremer with a solid time of 19:19. Brody Nelson with a 19:51. Hayden Horton with a 20:05. Aaron Croats with a 22:51. Daniel Most with a 23:13. And good to see Caston Honor back. He's been battling a little bit of an injury this past season and was able to get in, run a 32:14. Ronnie Mayer rounded things out on the boys' side with a 33:08. In girls' action, 29:47 is what Savannah Johnson rolled in, and a 29:49 for Haley Nielsen. This past Thursday, which was yesterday, the Council Grove High School hosted the Flint Hills League Championships at Cannon Creek Cove not in the reservoir. That'd be kind of tough. At the Council Grove Reservoir. Team standings, the boys end up coming in 3rd place. West Franklin won the event, and Osage City got 2nd place, and Council Grove just narrowly almost got into that 2nd place spot. Placing 2nd overall in the boys' race was, again, junior Jaden Picolette with a 17:25. Coming in 14th place, Brody Nelson with a 19:27. Carter Bremer in 16th place with a 19:34. Hayden Horton at 20th place with a 19:55. Braden Jarvis just finished just one spot out of the top 20. He finished with a 19:55 as well. In girls action, Caston Andrews with a 27:07. Savannah Johnson with a 28:01. Haley Nielsen with a 29.41. Next up for your cross-country team will be a trip to the 3A Regional at Wichita Trinity on October 25th. The girls will run at 10:35 and the boys will run at 11:45. And just based on some of the information that I researched and some of the information that I got from Coach Gant, this is a loaded regional. So if we have an opportunity to get individuals or a team, it's going to be quite the accomplishment because there are numerous teams that are ranked in state in this regional. So I want to wish the cross-country team the best of luck. Volleyball. Our Lady Braves volleyball team, coached by Milo Swift, got their second win of the season and beating Peabody. They also went into the Flint Hills League Championships, and things were kind of a struggle for the girls, but they will move on to postseason play, and they will be in the Royal Valley Regional, but each part of that regional is split apart into quads, and in that quad, the girls will compete in that regional action on Monday the 20th at Silver Lake in what they consider as Quad A. The teams that will be competing with are obviously Council Grove, Silver Lake, Pleasant Ridge, and Hiawatha. Want to wish our girls the best of luck heading into postseason volleyball. Girls golf, coached by Eric Carter, at the 321A Regional at Topeka, hosted by Silver Lake at Cypress Ridge Golf Course. The girls team finished in 5th place, but will have some girls competing in state next week. Senior Haley Grant shot a 102 and finished in 10th place, and she will make it to state. Sister Mackenzie Grant also punched her ticket with a 108 in 15th place. Other golfers, Brecken McEwen at a 115, Taylor Tiffany with a 130, Desiree Bakura at a 138, and Giada Plummer rounded out the Council Grove team with a 142. Again, I got to give a special shout-out and congratulations to Haley and Mackenzie for qualifying for state. And I want to wish them the best of luck, and that 321A state championships are at Salina at the Salina Municipal Golf Course, and their tee time will start at 9 a.m., but once they get the block set out, their tee time may actually come after 9 a.m., but that's the planned start time on October 20th. And again, want to wish all the athletes at Council Grove High School, wish them the best as they enter postseason play. Again, your Council Grove Braves, coached by Darren Reddick. Their offensive coordinator, Butch Hayes. Their other coaches are Brock Finch and Jay Sameka. And obviously, with the run that we've made the last couple seasons, deep into the playoffs and making the Final Four, we got one heck of a foundation made by our football team here at Council Grove High School, and we want to keep that tradition going. And again, it starts tonight against a huge district opponent, and we'll get into the St. Mary's Bears here shortly. Just kind of give you a recap of the season so far if you're just joining us for the first time and decide not to make the trip up here to St. Mary's. Week 1, beat Wabaunsee 26-7. Game 2 at Mission Valley, 41-0 Braves. Game 3, won at home against Topeka Carabao Vale, 39-7. Game 4, a 28-26 hold-on victory against Riley County. Then we ran into Osage City, who was playing their best football of the season, and lost that one 43-0. Did a great job of rebounding last week when they made a trip over to rural Richmond, Kansas, and defeated the Central Heights Vikings 55-8 in a very dominated performance, which moves us up to Game 7 as we'll take on the St. Mary's Bears. Some updated standings. District updates. Osage City is at 2-0. Silver Lake at 2-0. St. Mary's is at 1-2. Your Braves are at 1-1. And Riley County is at 0-3. Some interesting games for tonight other than, Council Grove versus St. Mary's. Osage City will travel to Silver Lake, so we'll try to keep an eye on the score of that game. And Riley County will face off against Heston in a non-district game. Give you some updated stats, and then we're going to kick it over to Jason, get you fired up for tonight's contest. Offensively, updated stats. Junior Luke Stewart with a very, very impressive performance last week at Central Heights, upped his total yardage to 436, 6 TDs on 4 interceptions. Reed Buttrey at 514, 8 TDs and 1 interception. Blaze French ran crazy over there at Central Heights. He's upped his total to 359 and 4 TDs. Reed Buttrey at 195 and 4. Bradley Dornbos, 141 and 1. And good to hear. We saw Bradley before the game, and he is back in action in uniform tonight. Good to have number 41 back in the lineup tonight. Your receiving leaders, Mason Samuels at 243 yards and 6 TDs. Grady Kepley, 242 and 3. Logan Stockwell at 137 and 2. Your defensive leaders in tackling, David McDiffett with 63. Caden Schmidt with 37. Reed Buttrey, 28. Bradley Dornbos, 27. Mason Samuels at 22, Tyler Hutchison at 21, and Nate Seamers with 20. Your interception leaders, each one of these individuals has 1. Reed Buttrey, Logan Stockwell, Mason Samuels, Blaze French. Sack leaders, Bradley Dornbus with 3, Reed Buttrey with 1, Mason Samuels 1, Saeed Smith-Jenkins with 1, Ty King with 1, Tyler Hutchison with 1, and Caden and Maddox have combined for a sack. Before we get into the St. Mary's Bears, I'm going to kick it over to Jason, get you fired up for tonight's contest.
Well, I looked in the eyes of Maddox Ziegler as they were heading to the locker room, and it looks like maybe they've been feeding him raw steak all week and ready to play angry. And saw Bradley. Bradley was all smiles, and they'd given him his helmet, and he's back on the field. We do have one other update. We do have a lower body injury. Logan Stockwell will not put the pads on tonight, so that's Braves still fighting the bug a little bit. Some injuries here or there. We were down at Central Heights last week. We saw a big night from Gunnar Gleason, and Gunnar, he kind of got right last week. Looked like he was moving a lot better, and hopefully this week it progresses as well, because I think what this thing comes down to, we've been watching warm-ups here for a half hour or so, and saw the Braves with and without their pads on, and the St. Mary's guys come out and start warming up. I believe this to be a line of scrimmage game. You're going to win this. You're going to win this at the point of attack. Either way, and when you talk about that line of scrimmage, you talk about a defensive front that was just dominant by the Braves last week down at Central Heights, and St. Mary's has played in some big games this year, and lost a couple tight ones within the district, and their offensive line can play. They got some big old boys down there. Our line has gotten healthy and gotten right, and so this thing's going to be in the trenches. Who can establish some semblance of a running game? Looking at the stat sheets, these guys, I think Justin has informed me they've thrown to 6 different receivers, something like that. So they're gonna spread that thing around through the air, and the only way to combat that, get pressure, not let them get comfortable back there throwing the football. And the Braves, we get really dangerous when we're able to run the ball. You get Blaze French, and you get Bradley Dornbos going in that running game, Reed Buttrey, and then the passing game can really open up for you. And this is going to be an exciting contest. If you look on paper, this thing is pretty even, across the board, and you would expect a big defensive play here or there. One of the teams turns the ball over, gives somebody a little bit of advantage. But yeah, moving into Game 7, we're deep into district play. A couple weeks to go here before we see how the playoffs line up. But big night, good night for football. Some of the storms seem to have gone around. I'm sure, as you've seen on the screen, beautiful football complex and field over here in St. Mary's. I'm not sure if that's a grizzly bear or a black bear. It's blue, but I'm not sure. I'm going to go grizzly, but I'm not positive. But beautiful facility, great looking new turf field, and we can't be more excited to get this one going over here under the lights. Not much wind. And it looks like some of the storms are going to hold off for us.
All right, and thank you, Jason. And just kind of a few tidbits of information. I don't think they are going to extend halftime, but it is homecoming tonight for St. Mary's, so there might be a little bit of abnormal delays and stuff like that. And it's the first time that we've been here on the football complex or side of things, so we don't exactly know when they're going to do the national anthem and those type of things. But we're going to get into the St. Mary's Bears, and if they start having a whole bunch of people start standing up and honoring our country, I'll get off real quick. But your St. Mary's Bears coming in with a record of 3-3. They have wins over Perry LeCompton, Jeff West, and a 22-13 win over Riley County. They have lost a tight game to Rossville. They lost to Silver Lake 21-6, and we're going to take a quick break here for the national anthem. Listen to the pregame show on the Flint Hills Live channel and TCT.
Providing high-performance specialty materials designed to positively impact the environment. If you're looking for an inspiring and exciting career as part of a team who is passionate about its mission, work, customers and the communities, contact us today, 620-767-5119, or apply online at www.alcogen.com/careers. Adams Home Store has been family-owned and operated since 1969. They offer construction services for custom homes, outbuildings, boat docks, and more. Adams carries supplies for farmers and ranchers and has a big inventory of grilling, boating, and camping accessories. Located at 203 East Main in Council Grove, go Braves! Together with veterans in Morris County, Kansas, hopes to enlist rural veterans and their local partners to join forces to reduce veteran and civilian suicides in their communities. To learn more, join their Facebook group. Please remember, help is always near. It's okay not to be okay.
The Tire Shop north of Council Grove is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's maintenance needs, offering tire and oil services for cars, trucks, tractors, and even ATVs. With hundreds of tires in stock, the Tire Shop is here for you. Matt Palmquist with Whitetail Properties is part of an expert team focused on Kansas land sales with local knowledge and national reach. Get the results you deserve. Contact Matt at 785-826-0995.
All right, thank you, Mindy. Great job there by the St. Mary's Pep Band playing the national anthem. And shifting gears back to the St. Mary's Bears and how we got here. They beat Riley County 22-13, as I'd mentioned earlier, if you missed that part. They have lost to Rossville in a really close game, lost to Silver Lake 21-6, and then last week ran into the juggernaut Osage City and lost 49-14. Their offensive stat leaders, you got to key on two guys. Lane Smith, number 15, their quarterback, 1,071 yards, 7 TDs on 3 interceptions. Their running back is number 7, Corleone Holes, 513 yards and 5 TDs. And when you see number 7 out on the field, they list him at 6 foot and 195 pounds, which is crazy to even fathom that a running back at a 2A high school would be that big and that athletic and that quick. But he is legit and somebody that the Braves are going to have to do a good job of stopping, because if he gets busy and does a lot of running, then we need to get something figured out. Their second leading rusher is a quarterback, number 15, Lane Smith, 170 yards, 4 TDs. Their receiving leaders, and there is a bunch of them. Number 14, Summers, 269 yards. Number 22, DeVader, 220 yards and 1 TD. Number 12, McMahon, 205 yards, 2 TDs. And Van Sickle, 160 yards and 2 TDs. So they like to spread it around, as Jason mentioned before. Lane Smith is not picky on who he tries to get the ball to, especially when you've got 6 guys that are above 150 yards receiving plus some touchdowns to go with that. Keep an eye on number 54, Roger Browning. He's got 53 tackles on the season. And number 11, Ketter, with 41, and a whole group of guys in the mid-20s. Jason talked about the weather. The temperature's going to be about the mid-70s, get to probably, my guess is the mid-60s throughout this game. As the field faces, it doesn't face a true north and south. It's kind of a little more southwest to northeast. And if you look at the flags on the northeast goalpost, the wind is kind of swirling just a bit, maybe blowing a little bit out of the southwest and a little bit west. But like we had mentioned earlier, not much wind shouldn't really affect the passing and the kicking game. So we're going to take a quick break here, and when we return, we're going to get you the opening coin toss and get you set for football action here at St. Mary's. And we're going to get ready to roll here. You're listening to the pregame show on the Flint Hills Live channel on TCT.
The Deuce.
LuxonetCorporation.com to learn more about their print and mailing offerings, digital solutions, strategy development, and creative services. To learn more about their print and mailing offerings, digital solutions, strategy development, and creative services. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, they treat people like people. Together, they will work with you to create a plan that's just right for you. Contact your Council Grove Farm Bureau agent, Alex Renke. It's your future. Let's protect it. Flint Hills Rural Electric Cooperative legacy now spans over 84 years. Their commitment to providing reliable, affordable, and safe electrical power to its members has never been stronger. As a cooperative, the safety and welfare of the members is always the number one priority. The Flint Hills Rural Electric Cooperative is proud to support its Braves athletes. Go Braves! Located in downtown Council Grove, Grove Gardens has a wonderful selection of gardening tools, beautiful plants, and fresh produce. They are your source for locally grown produce and all your gardening essentials. You can't beat their customer service and expertise. Follow them on Facebook.
Thank you, Mindy. I said good song to Motley Crue, and
Motley Crue on the speakers. They are getting these fans fired up.
Well, and then you said you really, really like. This is before you were born.
It is, but it's still a good song.
Okay, I was just kind of questioning things because I know when you were born.
It transcends all time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a bounds of years.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Your captains, and I'm just going to catch here from the backside of, of St. Mary's. Number 56, Tyler Birch. Looks like number 5. Number 5, Kason Van Sickle. Number 15, Lane Smith. And I'm missing one. Is that number 11?
11.
Yep, number 11. That is Micah Ketter. And for your Council Grove Braves, Caden Schmidt, Bradley Dornbos, Reed Butchery, and Luke Stewart getting ready to come out here and do the opening coin toss. And one thing that I would have to say, and again,
That's Hewitt, by the way.
did I say Schmidt again?
Yeah.
I tell you what, you'd think maybe I could fix that.
Just trying to keep you honest.
Yep. But one thing that you would have to say about, we were talking about their uniforms and just the royal blue with the white numbers and so easy to read and stuff. But, and again, you know that, Jason, I don't want to start a border war, or not a border war, but an in-state war here. But that's a really pretty color of blue.
Well, it's kind of like Royals blue. I think that's why you're attracted to it. I think Justin, it's kind of like a magnet because it's almost like the Royals special color of royal blue. So I think that's
it.
I think that's what it is because there's no point in my mind where I was like, man, that's a really pretty color of blue. I didn't think that. I thought we should come up here and try to win a football game.
Yeah, they got a sharp facility over here.
They
and
do
I
have a
just
sharp
wanted to-
facility.
And I got to give, again, mentioned earlier, shout out to St. Mary's High School for allowing us to come in here. There's the coin tossed, and that everybody's been wonderful, nice. The two ladies that welcomed us in there at the check-in booth were wonderful and excited, and we'll have to give you a shout-out on where we ate supper here. Looks like St. Mary's won the toss, elected to defer. Council Grove will receive and will be going south and defending the north goal. So Council Grove will get it to start. St. Mary's will get it to start the second half, so we'll get to see the Luke Stewart-led offense here tonight in St. Mary's.
Yeah, give us a couple minutes to talk about we hit the food truck uptown, the pizza food truck, Friar Tuck's. You gotta throw a shout out to Friar Tuck's. It's pretty good pizza. We're not as professional as like Dave Portnoy with Barstool on the one bite pizza review, but the pizza was excellent though, and I think we, as in Sherwood Forest, we got the Sherwood. I believe
yes, we
is
did.
what
We
it was
got the
called.
Sherwood Pizza.
Yeah, it was Friar Tuck and obviously Robin Hood themed names for the pizzas. So very unique concept. They were serving pies as fast as they could get them out of the gate. I mean, literally they served 20 while we were there.
Sorry, well, Mindy, there's 2 pieces in there because the pieces were huge.
Yeah, there's some pizza in the truck because truck pizza never goes bad. Just so you know.
I don't know. I would venture a guess that I would have to disagree. I do have a random question, though. You said the one bite pizza review. How could you eat one bite of pizza and give a decent review?
Portnoy does it. He's on Big Noon Sports now, on Fox, and Portnoy, the owner of Barstool.
Okay.
And he's famous for that pizza review, and he did. It's not one bite. I think he eats the whole pie myself, but he calls it that, and he reviews he goes all over the country and hits pizza joints and does the review. So we could have done that, or we could start our own thing with local restaurants. But we'll probably got to get back to football now.
All right, set back deep for your Braves. Blaze French, and good to see Bradley Dornbos going to set up shop at about their own 9-yard line. Good, high, deep kick. Bradley's going to pick it up, backpedal about to the 11, across the 15, 20, cuts back. Still on his feet, 30, and stumbles his way forward to the 36. Good run back there by Bradley Dornbos. Great to see him in a Council Grove uniform again, Jason.
Bradley took last week off at, I don't think it was his decision. He had a injury, took the week off, got everything repaired. He looks no worse for wear and a good return there. Looks like they're going to spot this thing out at the 42-yard line. So Braves will set up shop here, and like we talked about with line of scrimmage, you can see on your TV set, or if you're just listening, the size of both lines up front. Most guys in that 220 to 260 range. It'll be in the trenches.
Stewart claps his hands, going to go to Blaze French, and he's dumped for about a 2-yard loss. Tried to get the edge there on that right side, the far side, and it'll be dumped down at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a 2-yard loss, bringing 2nd and 12.
Yep, a little slow to develop there, and you see that push, and it's going to be tricky, and a chess match between these coaching staffs at how you move the football.
All right, it's going to bring up 2nd down and 12. Play clock is down to 16. Going to have a whole load of Council Grove wide receivers on the right side. Blaze French goes in motion. Stewart, empty backfield, 3-step drop, and here comes a lot of pressure. Steps up, looking, pass. It's going to be intended here on the near side. Look like they're going to Blaze French. So, by the way, there is number 54, Roger Browning, their leading tackler, and before Luke could get his feet set, old Browning was right in his face.
Yeah, and he did a good job of shaking the first guy and actually getting himself to throw the football, but very good coverage on all those comeback routes, coming back across the field towards their quarterback, trying to help him out. Pretty good coverage there.
Twins here to the near side. One split to the far side is Kepley. Stewart faced with a 3rd down and long. Normal 5-step drop. Going to have to step up, and he is sacked. About a 5-yard loss. Ankle tackle by Browning, and I tell you what, that left tackle, I didn't see who it was, if it was Maddox or who it was. They're going to have their hands full with number 54 all night long. They're going to probably have to get some help.
Yep, it looked like he hit him once, and he just made it around the corner in a hurry, and the Braves are going to punt 3 and out here. Never really got anything going there and bring that defense out.
Reed steps into one. It's a low liner. It's going to be picked up at about the 36-yard line, brought to this side, but what a tackle. And here comes a flag, but what a one-on-one tackle. Bradley Dornbos. So we'll have to wait and see what the flag is, but great coverage there on that play. We'll have to see what.
Bradley looks energized, and it was against St. Mary's.
A block in the back, so good coverage there by the Braves punt return team, and give them another 10 yards, and that will push St. Mary's all the way back to the 26-yard line. So St. Mary's brought their defense out of the locker room, and hopefully Council Grove brought their defense off the bus here, and Jason talked about it. One of his keys to the game was this might come down to some big-time defensive plays, and maybe this is one of those games where it's going to be low scoring, and the big plays are going to matter. All right, here we go. Lane Smith in the gun. He's got holes in the running back position. Got a man in motion, goes to the far side. Long snap count. It's going to be a pitch play to the far side to Holes. Holes is going to be hit and dropped over there on the far side. Tackled by Bradley Dornbos, and number 26, David McDiffett, picked up 2 on that play.
Yeah, good to see Bradley and David McTackles up there at the ball, because it's going to be key that the big guys set up a wall, and the 2 top tacklers out there. And Caden Schmidt, we know he's a big hitter, and David, those guys are going to have to get up, and they're going to have to gang tackle, hopefully at the line of scrimmage. And that was good. Only held them to 2.
2 split here to the near side, 1 split to the far. Smith rolls out here to the near side, looking. Pass is going to be bobbled, and we're going to have a penalty flag. Did they think Blaze got there too early? Because that's where that flag was. I thought it was really good timing, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it looked like
nope.
Yeah, no, not what it looked like. Apparently they thought from behind I thought he held off hitting him till the ball got there, but Blaze gets the flag early, and that'll move the football for a first down. And We know penalties have been an issue all season at times, and they're really going to tax the backside of this defense, and these defensive backs, they throw it around, and these guys are going to have to be clean.
One split far, one split near. Smith directing traffic, got everything where he needs to go. Claps his hands, going to be a handoff that left side. Holes tries to power his way forward, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. So far, I'm very positive with the way that the defensive line, the linebackers are playing in the running game with Holes, limiting him to basically 2 carries for 3 yards, Jason.
Yeah, I would say right now it looks like our defensive front is winning and getting a little bit of push up there, and guys are coming through and making those tackles. So, they've gotten 3 yards on the ground, and that's going to be key. You've got to stop that run, make him put it in the air, and hopefully you get to him before he's able to throw it.
All right, here we go. Got now a wing back to Smith's right. Twins here to the near side. Going to roll out, drop back, and he's going for all. The ball's going to flutter, and it is going to be knocked down, and that was one that fluttered. Had David or Blaze found the ball a little bit quicker, might have been able to turn and high point that caught it.
Actually, Blaze just couldn't get through all the bodies. He saw it, he tried to high point it, and was, David was in there as well, and it gets knocked down. But that's a great play by both of them because they were there as it was thrown way up in the air and started to flutter.
So 3rd down and 9. 3rd down and long here. Ball sitting on the 45-yard line. St. Mary's territory, and for the Counts Grove defense, to be a perfect opportunity to get a stop here.
Looks like they're
get
bringing
off
pressure.
The field, and we're going to have movement up front. It's a free play, and nope. So
and you can't do that.
Nope.
That you get them into 3rd and long. Now you're going to get them into 3rd and manageable at about a 3rd and 4, and that's what will hurt you in the big games in district is the discipline at the line of scrimmage there, because you had them 3rd and 9, and you may have been able to see the punter there if you held them.
So now decision time for St. Mary's. Ball is about in the middle of the bear as you can put it. And if they going to try to go 4-down territory here, go to the running game. Smith's going to go under center here with a lead back in front of Holes. Might be going 4-down territory. No, he's not. Good play action pass, and the ball is going to be caught here to the near side by number 12, and he runs over a Country Grove defender, Seamers, and gets all the way down to the 31-yard line. That last catch was by number 12, Kellen McCann. Good pitch and catch there for St. Mary's.
I think Seamers right now is thinking, I remember when my coach told me low man wins, because he came in a little high there and kind of just tripped him on his way by, but got him on the ground.
Pickup of 28 on that play, and the first offensive gain 1st down of this game. Smith got a man in motion the far side. It's going to be a QB keeper, and he's going to be dumped by the ankles, and good to have number 41 back in the backfield.
Yeah, Bradley re-energized after his 2-week break, and he has made a ton of plays already in this ball game, and he's energized. You can tell he's getting to the football, and Braves doing a nice job. That penalty is what kills you there. I think they have a little more strain put on them with 3rd and 9 than 3rd and 4.
Twins to the far side, one single split here to the bottom of your screen. Smith and Holes in the backfield. Straight 5-step drop, rolling. Pass is going to be caught over there on that far side.
Ball was dropped.
And it is incomplete. So ball was delivered on time. Great route and just good hit there from the backside. You see who made that hit to knock the ball loose?
Number 8.
The hitting machine, Caden Schmidt.
Great timing because the ball came in. It looked like, even to you, that's a long ways for you. On the backside of that. But yeah, he popped it out after the guy seemed to possess it for a split second. Obviously an incomplete pass.
Bringing up 3rd down and about 10.5 here. Obviously 4-down territory for the Bears. One split far, one split near, double tight formation. Smith, straight 5-step drop, looking, flushed here to the near side, still looking, great coverage downfield, and he will make a catch, make a throw to a catch to number 22. We'll get a name to that one because he was somebody that we didn't even talk about in the pregame. Number 22, Ben DeVader, picks up the 1st down, and Good pitch and catch there from Smith to DeVader.
They get guys to the spots. I mean, Braves had pretty good coverage and some pressure coming backside, not able to get to him as he rolled out there, and they pick up another first down.
So the passing game for St. Mary's is causing us some difficulties, and there is a broken tackle by Holes, but again, Council Grove, first man there, met him with contact in the backfield, but he was able to break one tackle, but not the second two or three. So right now the running game, Jason, is for St. Mary's is getting stymied by the Council Grove defense. We just got to figure out how to get pressure on Smith, their quarterback, because if he's allowed to sit there and read, he's going to find somebody.
Yeah, well, they're keeping us off balance. We're having to play that run, and we're doing a nice job with that. But when he pulls it and he rolls or he bounces back and looks, you got to be able to cover.
Here comes a pass, going to be a screen there to Holes, and he's going to be met immediately by Mason Samuels, and the rest of the student body comes and cleans up. And is that Luke Stewart?
That was Luke Stewart that came up and helped him out. So Luke Stewart in the game, excuse me, on defense. We heard that may be a thing, in and out with running Luke back there at one of those safety spots.
So here we go, 3rd down and 9. So stay disciplined, guys. Make this a 3rd and long because you're going to have to stop them 3 times from getting 9 yards here. So keep everybody in front of you. Get some pressure on Smith here, probably a passing down. Got a man in motion to the far side. Play action pass, looking. Smith, ton of time, and it's tipped. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. Great hands up front. Was that number 34 Samuels?
That's Samuels, and when you bring pressure with Mason and he's able to get close, he's big. And I don't know what his wingspan is, probably 7 feet. He gets those arms up, and that's a huge play because that brings up 4th and long. This may be the biggest play of the young game.
Absolutely. See what they dial up here in the talented wide receiving core of St. Mary's. And if, like say, anytime, I don't care who it is, you get pressure on a high school quarterback and he has to rush things, he's not as accurate. If he allows himself an unbelievable again.
Yep, they're hard counting us. They know that anybody that's played Council Grove knows how aggressive we are up front and that those guys have their ears pinned back. And that's just an absolute killer because now you bring the run and the pass into the possibilities. The playbook just opened to page 3 and 4 when you shorten this up.
Twins here to the near side, one split to the far side. Smith. Play action pass, looking here to the near side, looking, and he is going to be stopped.
He's down.
Bradley Dornbus should have had him down, or it should have been intentional grounding, so it's going to be a spot foul. So Bradley Dornbus gets home, and where he sacked him, it's going to be basically an intentional grounding, and we're going to get some plus yards. So basically, Bradley Dornbus was able to probably get us at least 10 to 15 yards on that sack.
Yeah, that was a huge play, and that's what we talk about, these big plays. We talk about 4th down, the line of scrimmage, the pass rush, what each team's doing, the strategy with the blitz packages. That's huge for the Braves. 1, to have 41 back, and 2, for him to be back to his old self, making these huge plays.
All right, so the defense done its job, and now the offense has got to find something to get their job going here. So, again, after the sack, that turned into an 11-yard sack by the junior linebacker, Bradley Dornbus. What a huge play. One split to the far side, one split here to the near side. Luke Stewart's going to call his own number, and he's able to find a little bit of running room. Almost got out to the 35-yard line, but as much as it pains me to say this, they got 3 yards, and that's the first positive 3 yards we've got tonight, so it's a positive.
Yep, we got it with I believe that the Council Grove coaches are going to try to, that first drive I don't think is indicative of anything, just trying to get their feet wet, get some feelers out there, and I think they're going to keep them off balance here.
Stewart, play action pass. He's got plenty of time. He delivers a ball far side. It's caught by Mason Samuels. We'll see where he got out of bounds. It looked like he might have been a yard short, but Jason, we talked about that.
Yeah.
On the 4-lane highway, they're working construction on Bill Snyder Family Drive or whatever it's called. Quick out to Mason Samuels. You cannot defend it, and there you go.
Yep, it's almost undefensible with how you run the other routes, and when he gets good 3-4 hard steps and turns right in that case, and if you deliver the ball right there, there's not much they can do with that.
3rd down and 1, big 3rd down for the Braves. Going to be a QB keeper by Reed Buttrey, and he needed 1, and just give the kid 5 or 6. Good there, zone read by Reed Buttrey coming in on the short yardage play, and let's keep this drive rocking and rolling.
Well, you complete that pass, and now you've maybe changed the thought process and the eyes a little bit, and now maybe you get some of that running game and that quarterback run game going even a little more, and then you go back to Samuels, or you get Grady Kepley broke out deep, but you're starting to see a little balance problems for St. Mary's.
Next dead ball, we're going to have to talk about something that St. Mary's is doing. QB keeper for Reed Buttrey. Reed Buttrey finds a lot of running room on that far side. What a run by Reed Buttrey. He they just teared it up. 11-yard run for Reed Buttrey. First down. And I tell you what, number 54 Browning for St. Mary's is a problem. Well, he started out at the right defensive end, flipped to the left defensive end, and I thought, man, we better not run next to 54. We took it right on him, double-teamed him, and blew a huge hole open.
Yeah, that's Gunner over there, and we've found a little something right there. We've thrown it that way. We've ran it that way twice behind big Gunner Gleason, and Mason gets a head start. I think that's cheating.
And, it's funny. 99.9% of the time, offense or defense, if you see a guy that leaves early, offensively, he's getting the ball.
Yep.
Defensively, he's probably going after the quarterback or blitzing.
I'm guessing that was that option route play that Mason loves so much, because he was he was on a train headed south, and I think he was probably getting the ball. I think you're right. And I don't even know if you go away from that play, how they're set up. If he can get himself on 3 out there.
Play action pass for Stewart. Plenty of time. Great blocking up front. Stewart's going to deliver a long one here to the near side, and it's caught by Saeed Smith-Jenkins, and he got both feet in. Jason, Luke Stewart threw
40.
that from the 40, and he threw that to the opposite boundary at the 27-yard line. That's not a high school throw, and that's not a high school catch. That was incredible.
No, that was really good, and that was dangerous because of the angle. They tell you, a lot of conventional wisdom, you don't throw back across there like that. But, man, what a throw to the boundary. And great catch by Saeed.
Okay, going to be a handoff. Blaze French bounced it outside. He's got the edge a little bit, and what a hit he bounced off of. Down to almost the 20-yard line, but what a collision on that far side, and it is going to be a pickup of, come on, chain down marker, pickup of 8. What do
you see happening, though? I see a little bit of confidence in that offensive line, and I see a little confidence in the play caller, and I see the ball going anywhere and everywhere around here, spreading it out, and I see St. Mary's maybe wondering what Coach Hayes has on the Waffle House menu.
Inside handoff, Blaze French, first down, still on his feet, down to the 15, call it the 16-yard line, but I can tell you what.
First down.
You get one big play, that defensive stop, and it completely changed the momentum of the team.
Yeah, no school today, so you always worry about, getting off the bus, what the schedule's been, and some of those things. But Braves able to make that defensive stand and now finding a little momentum, and this offensive line's pushing it down the field.
Stewart play action pass rolling out. Looking. He's going to tuck it and run, and he's just going to scoot out of bounds, but not before. I believe they're going to give him at least 5 on that one. I tell you what, you get number 2 out in the open field, and he's pretty shifty and pretty quick.
They did a nice job. One guy saw it quick enough to come up, or he might score. If he keeps his body turned, that defensive back any longer, and doesn't see Luke sneaking, he may not be able to get to him because Luke's fast. He picks up 6, though.
All right, here we go. 6. Going to be a handoff. Blaze French picking and running through holes. And I tell you what, the last 3 carries that Blaze French has ran. Sometimes he will bounce it outside, but Blaze French is following the hole, following his blockers. 3 great runs by Blaze French, first and goal for the Braves.
Well, I know what's on that side. I know Gunnar Gleason is the tackle on that side, and Gunner's feeling better, and Gunner has been, nursing an injury, and now Gunner's feeling good, and you can tell that old Gunner is shoving people around over there.
Reed Buttrey in at quarterback, first and goal from the 3, trying to hunt and find himself forward, and he ran into a big front 3 of St. Mary's. We'll have to see when they spot it. If, based on the near side official, they believe they're going to give him about a half yard, going to bring up second and goal from about the 2.5-yard line.
Yeah, the thing about running Reed, and I love running Reed out of the Wildcat, but your blocking's got to be very precise because they know when 6 slides over there, they've been watching film all week. You kind of know what's coming a little bit, and they play to that in the box.
Stewart, handoff, left side, Blaze French around that left edge, touchdown, Braves.
What a drive.
What a drive, and that was a drive from the 30-yard line, 70-yard drive, mixed in the pass, mixed in the run. Ton of guys from Council Grove touched it, and we get on the scoreboard first, and here comes the cross-country kid.
Yeah, and here comes Bremer. They sounded, somebody blew the train whistle over there. I don't know. I think that's on the Council Grove side, isn't it, that they blew the train whistle?
Jason, they're going to leave the offense out
Oh,
here.
they're going for 2. We are playing. There's blood in the water.
1:40 left to play. Braves going for 2 here. Stewart, straight drop back. Plenty of time, looking, and it is going to be tipped and knocked into the air. Trying to find Reed Buttrey there, so Council Grove decides to go for 2 instead of getting an extra point. But nevertheless, we're not going to take anything away from that drive. Council Grove, 3 and out their first drive. Defense stops them. They go 60 yards, but they get a 4 and out stop with a huge sack by Bradley Dornbus. They march 70 yards, get in the end zone, and they lead it 6-0. We're going to take a quick break with 1:40 left to play. Braves lead at 6-0 over the Bears. You're watching Braves football on the Flint Hills Live Channel and TCT.
The deuce.
The H&R Block Tax Professionals are here to meet all your tax needs. Let these experts give you a peace of mind. Call and place an appointment with them today. You can find them located at 316 West Main in Council Grove. The Council Grove Republican, founded in 1872, provides you with community and focused articles Monday through Thursday, which are stories you can't find on social media. Subscribe today at councilgroverepublican.com for as low as 35 cents an edition.
Did somebody say Taco Tuesday? El Rancho Viejo is just the spot for your south-of-the-border cravings with a full menu of made-to-order Mexican cuisine. And don't miss their $1.75 tacos on Tuesdays. Be sure to try one of their famous margaritas while you're dining in. Open 7 days.
All right, welcome back, Braves fans. Set to kick off for the Braves. Is that number 55?
Looks like the double nickel. Lincoln Sherwood lined up to kick off here.
So Council Grove leads it, and again, all the momentum and all the confidence is wearing a white and navy trimmed in gold. So you get a good defensive stand here, and our kickoff team pin them deep here. A little bit of Squibbert's going to check up, picked up by one of the up men, and he's going to shove himself forward. Huge hit. Looks like mouthpieces and ear pads go flying, but St. Mary's will have good field position out beyond the 40-yard line, and here comes that defense.
Yeah, Braves will run that defense back out there, and let me tell you, as you gain confidence here, let's see what that pressure looks like. What Coach Reddick wants to do with old 41, moving him around, blitzing him a little bit, letting Bradley him eat. Because if you're running from 41 all night, you're not having a good night.
Twins to the far side. Got a back to his left is Smith. Holes is the running back. Going to be a pitch that far side to Holes, looking for a spot to seam his way through, and he's able to stumble forward out to about the 45-yard line, give him a positive gain of about 3. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 7. So far, Holes hasn't been able to find a hole to get himself through.
Well, that's David McTackles reading the play and getting there quickly and coming up and putting the hit on it, because it looked like he had a little more room than that to run, and it closed quick. And 26 He's got to be big. He's got to see it, and he's got to get there.
Little split backs, new formation in the backfield for the St. Mary's Bears. Smith, going to be a lead play to Holes, and we're going to have a penalty flag. Holes did get about 5 yards to make it third down and short. We'll have to wait and see in that area. Look like that might be the area of holding or block below the waist, or
maybe some little blocking too low in there. Nice holding
call on St. Mary's, so that will make it, depending upon where it happened.
It looked like it was all the linemen were back inside the 45. So it'll be, or they were about the 45, they say.
So a huge penalty on St. Mary's. Puts them way behind the chains. Is going to bring up 2nd down and 18. Push the ball inside the 35-yard line. They need Council Grove's side of the field. Council Grove's 48 for a first down. So here's a perfect opportunity to limit something here, make it 3rd and a country mile for St. Mary's. Twins here to the near side. One split to the far. Straight drop back for Smith, looking. A ton of pressure. He decides to duck it and run, and he's going to be stopped by Mason Samuels. Little bit short of the original line of scrimmage, so they did their job. He was able to scramble and pick up about 7, but 3rd and 11 here. Braves need another stop, get that ball back.
Yeah, you could afford a little softer there to make sure those guys looked covered, and Mason does a nice job not letting him get back to the line of scrimmage. So I think if you told Coach Reddick 3rd and 11, ball at the 41, he'd take it.
All right, that is the end of the first quarter. Your Council Grove Braves lead the St. Mary's Bears 6-0 here in St. Mary's. We're going to take a quick break, flip the field, and we'll get you the second quarter. You're watching Braves football on the Flint Hills Live channel and TCT.
The Deuce.
Days a week, find them downtown Council Grove.
At the Morris County Hospital, they are proud to stand behind our hometown athletes, the Council Grove Braves. Whether it's on the field, court, or on the track, these athletes show us what hard work and dedication looks like. When injuries happen, their team of professionals are there with expert care to get them back in the game and stronger than ever. The Morris County Hospital is caring for our community and cheering on the Braves. Let's go, Braves!
All right, welcome back, Braves fans. Getting ready to start the second quarter. A 3rd down and 11 incoming here for St. Mary's. They're going to flip ends. They're going to go to the south end, which is towards the south end zone, and that's where the scoreboard is located. So most teams, when they defer, they'll pick that way, so in the fourth quarter they can see the scoreboard on the south end. So Council Grove defense, other than giving up a couple big pass plays, have really done an excellent job of limiting what St. Mary's wants to do here, but obviously a passing down here for St. Mary's.
Looks like a little 4 guys up front. Bradley standing up, bringing pressure.
Smith, straight drop back, rolling to the right a little bit, looking. Somebody needs to step up, and it's going to be passed and caught wide open, and we lost somebody in coverage. Finally knocked out of bounds. I have to get you the number of who that was. Is that number 14?
I thought the white hat was going to throw the hold. He almost reached, it looked like, because we got tackled at the line of scrimmage there on the pressure. But he got that extra step out there, able to find him, and we lose a guy, and they get the big play down to the 20.
So Zach Summers picks up a huge gain for St. Mary's to keep their drive alive on 3rd and 11. Getting the ball all the way down to the 20-yard line. Smith setting the offense for the Bears. Got a man in motion to this side. It's going to be a end around or a jet sweep to Zach Summers, and he's dumped. And right now the offensive coordinator or head coach, whoever called that play after the huge offensive play, is thinking, why did I just run that? That huge play.
Gunner got to him first and slowed him down, and then Reed and Bradley came in and cleaned that thing up. But that's a big loss, and Braves have the ability to keep pushing them back. This is roughly, the part of the field where they drove it to, and it's fine to bend if you never break. And Braves right now are going to have to stand up and try to get them off the field.
Twins hitter to the near side, Twins to the far side. Empty backfield for Smith. Smith, man in motion is Holes. Going to be a play action pass. Smith over the middle. He's got a man, and it is going to be caught. And that is number 22, Detmer, down to the 5-yard line. So, again, when you give Smith time, he can deliver a pretty decent ball.
You got to find that ball because he's throwing that thing way up in the air, and he's pressure in his face. He had to throw over the defender, so it really got the ball up in the air. And if he's going to throw those lollipops, you got to find it and knock it down or get on it because that ball, I think about 5 guys had a chance at that, and 22 came down with it.
First and goal at the 5-yard line. Smith, the up back is Holes. Man in motion to the far side. He's going to be a QB keeper. Smith one-on-one, and he is going to dive into the end zone. Go one-on-one against Caden Schmidt and finds himself in the end zone. And apparently they do a little strobe light thing here every time St. Mary's scores a touchdown. I thought that they're going to have to call an electrician.
They got a light show going. I wasn't warned. Yep, and St. Mary's makes it 6-6, and I'll tell you what, this thing on paper lines up to be a dogfight. So Braves defense stand up, but one big play flips the whole field there, and St. Mary's able to score.
So a rushing touchdown by Lane Smith, and St. Mary's rolling the dice. They're going to go for 2 as well. You had 2 people in motion. That should be a legal motion, and they're going to be a pitch play to Holes, and he's dumped. This should be declined because we do have a penalty flag. It should be a legal shift. Yep. Declined, and so the play is no good. So the should be
6-6.
6-6 at the 10:24 mark. So a huge stop there for Council Grove to keep this thing tied. And we're going to get the ball back here for our first drive of the second quarter. Take a quick break here. You're watching Braves football on the Flint Hills Life Channel and TCT.
The Deuce.
DHC Chiropractic is helping you feel your best with services such as spinal manipulation, various forms of physiotherapy, and dry needling. Call into our office to schedule your appointment or reach out to us on Facebook.
Need help navigating the real estate market? Give a local Council Grove Realty or Lakeside Property Realtor a call today. They are members of the Flint Hills Association of Realtors assisting in residential, commercial, and ag sales. Visit cglakeside.net or councilgroverealty.com and see what a local realtor can do for you.
All right, welcome back, Braves fans. So St. Mary's answers here in the start of the second quarter, getting their own type of touchdown, their own touchdown set to kick off for the Bears. Number 58, Patrick Griffin, and he was the one that kicked off to start the game and did a really good job kicking it pretty high and deep to Bradley Dornbos. So set back deep here on the near side. Blaze French far side is Bradley Dornbos. They're going to set up shop at about the 10. You never know. Crazier things could happen here. See if Griffin decides to kick it deep, and he does kick it deep on the far side to Dornbos, across 15 to the 20. 25 still on his feet, shoves his way forward past the 30, and he will be down at about the 32, 33-yard line. So Council Grove will have it. Got something figured out last offensive drive, Jason.
Yep, it looks like, to Gunner's side, when we want to run the ball, we found a little magic over there. They're either picking on somebody or they found something they like. But I think the way that Council Grove's mixing it up, and if we can keep that up, using both the run and the pass, keep them off balance, that last drive looked really good by the Braves.
Going to be a handoff. Blaze French bounces to the near side, trying to get the edge. Stutter step, spins. And I tell you what, Blaze is fortunate. That could have been a 2-yard loss, and it looks like he got it into about a 2-yard gain. Good run there by Blaze.
Yeah, the way he stuttered when he started to pause, I thought he was going to get trucked by 4 guys, and he's able to squeak through there somehow to pick up 3 yards. So Braves getting the 2, 3, 4 yards on first down that they need to kind of stay in time with the chains.
One split to the far side, one split to the near side here on the near hash. Split backs for Stewart, the junior quarterback. Claps his hands. Going to be a play action pass. Looking. Here comes Browning. Browning's going to chase him. Stewart running for his life to the far side and just dumps it and throws it out of bounds. and aimed for one of the freshman linemen over there, and he was open, but good play there by Luke to, number one, avoid the sack and to get the ball away. So that way we're faced with a third and manageable.
Yeah, it's third and manageable. You can get this in the passing game, but St. Mary's able to get a little bit of pressure in these obvious passing situations. And, yeah. Well, I don't know how obvious it was, but they tend to, when he keeps it, there tends to be somebody chasing him almost immediately.
All right, here we go. Empty backfield for Stewart. Keep an eye on 34. He is on these right end. Stewart, straight drop back, looking, pass over the middle. It's going to be caught by Grady Kepley. Gets ankle tackled, but not before he gets across midfield, and a Council Grove first down. Great in-cut route for Grady Kepley. Gets his first catch of the game.
And great protection because he had the pocket. He stepped up just a little bit in there and delivered the football. Good blocking by the Council Grove front five and delivered the ball on a rope to Grady Kepley for the first down. So those are big plays. Braves got to be good on third down.
All right, here we go. One split far, one split near. Mason Samuel's going to go into the flanker spot over there. Hard count by Stewart. Going to be a handoff lead play. Bradley Dornbos gets his first carry in a couple weeks. Not much doing there on that far side. Going to give him a little bit of a gain. We're going to give him about a half yard. Going to bring up second down and long.
Yep, Bradley not finding much room off the left side over there. And Braves kind of keeping things fresh, where they're running the ball, who's running the ball, where we're going on these routes. It's pretty exciting offense to watch, actually.
Two split to the far side, one split to the bottom of your screen. Grady Kepley, Stewart. Claps his hands. Going to be a handoff here to the near side, and that is Blaze French squirting his way through. Gets out, probably picks up about 5. Going to bring up third down and very, very manageable. Jason, and I asked this question at the 42-yard line. Your defense is playing pretty well.
Yeah, I think you're in 4-down territory. This in no man's land here near the 40-yard line, and I think you got to keep the ball out of their hands. You got to sustain these drives, and you got to do everything you can to get points at the end of them.
Twins to the far side, twins here to the near side. Empty backfield for Stewart, and I believe we're going to have a timeout. I think Coach Hayes and Coach Reddick kind of sense how big this third down is. They're going to talk about it, and we'll let them do it. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Braves football on the Flint Hills Live channel and TCT.
The Deuce.
For over 100 years, Citizen State Bank has gone the extra mile for its customers, providing big bank amenities while knowing their customers by their first name. Stop in today at any of their 7 locations or check out their services online at extramilebank.com.
All right, welcome back, Braves fan. Ball is setting on the 42-yard line. Braves need the 38 for a first down. Big down here. Empty backfield for Stewart. Going to go ahead and tuck it and run straight up the gut. Stewart spins, ankle tackled, and I don't know about you, Jason.
Terrible spot.
Yep, not a great spot, and it looks like he's going to be about a size 11.5 short.
Yep, he is very short. He wasn't short. He ran past the 38 and then was kind of shoved back. But at any rate, it's going to be 4th and short. Braves will go here. And I liked keeping the quarterback in the quarterback's hands. We talked about on the break. We kind of thought Luke would run the ball.
Claps his hands. Going to be a handoff inside, and shoving his way forward is Blaze French. Great blocking, interior blocking up front. Leo Salas, Maddox Ziegler, Caden Schmidt.
That was Bradley. That was Bradley, by the way.
That was Bradley. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was
Yeah.
getting excited. Didn't care who the number was. I just saw the blocking.
It didn't matter really who was carrying the ball, but that was Bradley Dornbos for about 4 and 3.5 to pick up the first down. The Braves keep the drive alive.
So the running game is absolutely rocking and rolling here tonight for the Braves. Stewart, play action pass, looking. Plenty of time. Stewart's going to have to tuck it, and he's going to have to spin, try to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll probably go down as a sack. Looks like he's about a yard short, and I tell you what, pretty good coverage downfield by St. Mary's.
It was Mason. Mason looked like he was going to break deep and break open, and two guys bracketing him. They went with him. That's where Luke looked like he was going to go, and he thought better of putting that much air under it and seeing if 34 could get down there. He would have had to throw it quite a ways, but probably a good decision to live and fight another day. 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Braves faced with second and long here. One split here to the near side, two split to the far side. Stewart claps his hands. Nobody's there, and he's just going to take it himself. And Luke Stewart's going to stumble his way forward. I don't know if there was supposed to be a zone read, maybe a handoff to that side. But Stewart's like, oh, gosh, nobody's here. I'm just going to go pick up 9.
Yeah, he followed a couple guys through there. It's hard to believe that wasn't designed with the blocking he had in front of him. But, yeah, he kind of looked – his body language was he was baffled there was nobody there on the zone read, so he just tucked it and took off. At any rate, it works to perfection to bring up a third and maybe a yard and a half.
One split here to the near side, Grady Kepley. Stewart has one to his left. Going with the hard count. Going to go ahead and hand off Dornbos, and Dornbos is running downhill and running angry. New set of downs for the Braves, and I tell you what, the offensive line is working tonight, Jason.
Yep, the boys are doing it up front, and that was kind of a key to the game pregame. Your offensive and your defensive line, which in our case is primarily a lot of the same guys, even rotationally on defense. It's the same 5 guys coming in and out of the game on defense up front and playing that offensive line. And they're doing a nice job right now because the Braves able to pick up 4 or 5 seemingly at will.
Stewart, straight drop back, looking, pass over there on the far side, and it's going to be caught over there on the far side by Saeed Smith-Jenkins and out of bounds, and that should stop the clock at 4:34 left to play. And I tell you what, in games like this where both teams are methodical, huddling up almost every single play, possessions are going to become huge.
The run game's important, which we're doing, controlling the line of scrimmage, being able to run that ball, and then when you do throw it, being able to, possess the ball, pick up chunks where you get yourself into 2nd and 4, you got 3 plays to get it.
Blaze French up the middle, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. Good run there by Blaze French. Gets down to about the 11-yard line. Another first down for the Braves, and I tell you what, this offense is absolutely humming.
Yeah, it's keeping them off balance. The guys up front are doing a great job of blocking. Coach Hayes has probably had the Waffle House menu reprinted this week. Probably added some new humdingers on there, and he's got her working right now.
Stewart directing traffic with his offensive lineman. Two split far, one split near. Stewart, play action pass. Got plenty of time. Looking, still looking.
Oh,
and
that's
he's going to get grabbed and strung down, and I don't know how that's not a horse collar or something. We've got a penalty flag right at the line of scrimmage. Stewart gets ripped down, but it's going to be holding on Council Grove. So you had 1st and 10 at the 11. You could get another first down at the 1, but now it's going to be 1st and probably about 21.
Yeah, hard for those guys to block that long. Really good coverage. Nowhere for him to go. I have a little bit.
Oh, they declined that, Jason.
They declined it to bring up 2nd down. They wanted because he was tackled 6 yards.
Good. Yep. That makes sense.
Probably does make sense to lose the down.
Yep, and gain the probably 7 or 8 yards. So call it 2nd down and about 17 for the Braves. Stewart rolls out here to the near side, looking. Nobody open. Decided was going to dump it off to Blaze French, but it's going to be incomplete. So holy moly, this drive that was just amazing, and then we talked about it numerous times throughout the season. Penalty flags were going to come back and bite us in the you-know-what, the rear. when it comes to really tight ball games against district opponents.
Yeah, you can't get off schedule like that and get yourself now into basically taking shots at the end zone. I mean, you want to get – I would think you probably want to get this – you're going for it no matter what, but you want to get this to the 5, inside the 5 somewhere.
Straight by Stewart. Stewart far side and in and out of the hands of Mason Samuels, but he was defended well. So now you're going to be faced with a 4th down and 17.
I know the play I like here. I like the play that Mason escapes on the back side of that end zone, usually from about the 20, 25. Hayes likes to dial it up, and he breaks wide open down the back. If everybody can hold here, man, I would think he'd try to get the ball up to the big fella in the back of the end zone.
Inside wide receiver is Grady Kepley. Outside receiver is Blaze French. Far side, one-on-one coverage is Mason Samuels. Stewart looking. They're going to go for Samuels in the corner of the end zone. Up in the air, and had it in his hands for a second, but it's knocked away. That was actually a really good play, Jason.
Yep.
It's just
triple
better defense.
Coverage. I mean, everybody knows you go where 34 goes because he'll bring the football down, and they get 2 or 3 guys on him, and that's tough. But they did go to him in the end zone, and I think that's what you got to do, go to your playmaker.
All right, change of possession here. So we've got 3:35 left to play. Council Grove with 2 timeouts, St. Mary's with their 2 timeouts, and this is a huge drive for the Council Grove defense because St. Mary's has the ball here with 3:35 left, yes, but they also get the ball coming out of the locker room. So this is going to be a big spot for Council Grove. Look like empty backfield, and it's going to be Monday Night Football and a whole bunch of passing here, but they're going to do a swing play, inside handoff over there by Holes, and he's going to be rumbling, stumbling forward and maybe pick up about 2. Hopefully they give him where he initially fell down and didn't roll to that second spot, so bring up about 2nd and 7.
David McDiffitt comes up and gets the one-arm tackle in there, trips him up.
Holes in the backfield. Smith, straight drop back, and he's going to have a ton of pressure, decides to roll, and he's going to throw it deep, and it's going to be over the head of the intended receiver there on that far side, Zach Summers, number 14, but I know he wanted to throw it away, but if he would have not put enough air on it, we would have picked that thing.
Yeah, he didn't throw a good ball with all the pressure, and we had pressure, and here they're going to hard count us again. Right here. I know it. The lady over there in the blue St. Mary's jersey sitting below me knows it. The Council Grove fans know it. Hopefully our defensive line knows it.
Yep, because this would be a big opportunity for Council Grove to bring out their punter because I don't know about you, I haven't seen him yet, and I sure want to see what he looks like.
We've got our ears pinned back, and they are going to hard count us.
All right, guys, stay disciplined here. Smith. Straight drop back, looking, pass is going to be over the intended receivers, and that's Summers again. And Jason, they got it at 3:35, and they only ran off 33 seconds. We're going to get the ball back.
I thought that was a great opportunity to use that against us, and they didn't do anything there.
Nope.
They didn't even have a good look at that route, and they're going to punt it away.
So
with what'd you call it? 3:02, clock stopped. Braves are going to put, looks like Dorenbos back, and a chance here to get the ball in really good field position.
And take the lead going in the locker room. I like that.
Yeah, I like that plan. I also like the plan of potentially you get your hand on the football here. You got him kind of backed up. He's going to punt this thing from probably the 7.
Yep. So St. Mary's calls a timeout, and it always makes me nervous when you got a coach that's got 4th and 6. We're going to keep it right here. 4th and 6, 4th and 7. See what the scoreboard says.
Yeah.
They're getting 4th and 7.
Do you need to talk about your punt formation?
No.
Maybe not.
No.
Could be a trick play.
Yep, and that's one of those things where Council Grove, as Jason had mentioned numerous times, and everyone at home has mentioned, we like to get a good head start and might get a little bit antsy. So if St. Mary's, with their punter in punt formation, might do a little bit of a hard count, Council Grove, surely they wouldn't roll the dice and bring the house and see if they maybe can get a punt block.
If we jump off sides, that probably tells you we were bringing the house and the school bus and everything with us to try to get to him. So hopefully the discussion is, hey, just let them get this punt off. Let's not. I don't know that I bring pressure because I don't want anybody jumping here.
No, because you're going to get, like I say, there's a good chance you're going to get the ball. Unless he just booms it, you're going to get the ball at midfield. Gets a punt away, a little end over end. It's going to check up and take a St. Mary's roll. Just get away from it, and it will roll dead inside the 40 at the 38-yard line. So Council Grove will have it back. 2:52 left and 2 timeouts. And this is one of those things where if I'm Coach Reddick, Coach Hayes, the offensive coordinator, I do not want St. Mary's to get the ball back until they get done with the homecoming ceremony in the third quarter. And you've got 2 timeouts. And our running game has been really good. Our running game is actually what got us our last drive to get the ball up to the 11-yard line, and then penalties bit us in the rear. But our running game has been very successful. Run the football until you absolutely can't.
Well, I run the football until I get about at 2:52. I get it to a minute running the football before I do anything else and try to at least make 1 first down.
It's going to be an inside counter handoff to Mason Samuels, and he's going to be drugged down. Going to pick up about 3. Little bit, maybe a jet sweep there by Mason Samuels trying to get him out in space. First time that Mason Samuels had it either an end around or jet sweep or a counter. But
that little counter pitch, the Cade Goodell counter, as we like to call it, looked like it picked up about 3. So Braves get the clock moving at 2:20 here.
Can have 1 split to the far side, 1 split to the near side, and Reed Butcher doing a little bit of groundskeeping out there. Going to be a quick play-action pass, and here comes Browning. Stewart sets his feet, and it is going to be – we're going to have a penalty flag. I don't know if it was caught on the far side or not.
They threw the flag.
So
ineligible? Is that what he just –
Yep,
Yeah.
Ineligible man downfield. So one of those deals where you got a lot of window dressing and play action and a whole bunch of fake handoffs and everything else. I ask your offensive lineman to know whether or not, okay, is he going to pass it? Is he going to tuck and run it? Because I want to sustain my block, and then if I get my block sustained and he's coming running behind me, I'm going to continue my block downfield. So nevertheless, 5-yard penalty.
And you only get if you get a penalty, you only get the clock down to 2:06, and you got 4 yards on running. I probably would have kept it on the ground, try to keep the clock moving, but to get the first down.
All right, here we go. Stewart, man in motion is Reed Butcher. Pass, looking. Stewart's got a little bit of room to run. Dances his way forward, gets back across the 40, down at about the 41-yard line. But decision time here for Council Grove on a play here.
Well,
Third down and 8, because if the clock is winding here, 1:46 play clock at 28. If you pass this ball here in the next 20 seconds, you're going to have to punt the ball back to them with St. Mary's having 1 timeout left and probably about a minute of time left.
Yeah, I run it all the way. I can tell you that. I try to get this thing to about 1:15 before I snap it. That way, if you are looking to, and we may be fine with punting the ball with this amount of time and make them go a long ways.
Stewart looking. He's going to go deep to Grady Kepley. Little bumping and running. What a catch! What a pass over the shoulder to Grady Kepley. Heck with it. We don't know what we're talking about. Let's just go to 9 route to Grady Kepley over the shoulder on the boundary. What a throw.
Yeah, great throw. He drops it in the bucket. And now your strategy completely changes. You got the ball at the 28, and you've done what you needed to do. You've got the clock down closer to a minute. You've got first down. And now you start working both the clock and your play calling to try to score and not give them any time.
All right, here we go. Clock stop, 1:13 left to play. Twins here to the near side. Stewart, 5-step drop, looking. Plenty of time. Decides to go ahead and tuck it and run, and he will. And he'll just dance out of bounds at about the 23, 24-yard line. So he was able to pick up about 5, and that play only took about 8 seconds, Jason, 1:05 to play.
That's a good play to the boundary. If you're gonna set things up so your quarterback has the outlet to get to the boundary if nobody's open, that's not all bad with a minute 5 to be 2nd and 5. You got 3 plays here. We've got 1 timeout in our pocket still? 2. Council Grove's got 2, so I think you're in good shape here still.
Empty backfield for Stewart. 5-step drop. Great protection. Ball's over the middle, and it's going to be – did he catch that? No. The ball was delivered right to Mason Samuels, but he took a shot from the back side and the front side, Mason Samuels found a little seam down the middle and just
There's
taking
laundry
a beat.
on the play, and that's going to be 10 on the Braves, and that's why you get this thing down close to a minute if you can, because they're probably going to take that.
It's going to bring up
penalty.
2nd and 5, and now it's going to be 2nd and 15. You don't want to take the aggressiveness out. You got down here inside the 25, but now you're pushed out to the 33. You're down here. You might as well take a few shots at the end zone, but
You might run it on first down and
Yep.
call timeout and
Yep.
see what you got, because they get them out in the formation maybe try something sneaky in the running attack with your quarterback.
Stewart, empty backfield, 5-step drop, looking, pass over the middle. It's going to be caught by Mason Samuels. He did make the catch, but he went down to a knee, but positive gain on the play, gets him down inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line, and we are under 50 seconds left, so looks like Coach Reddick is going to call one of his timeouts. We're going to take it with him. When we return, the Braves will have it 3rd and 11. Ball sitting inside the 30 at the 29. Would love to get an opportunity to get this ball in the end zone and take the lead at half. You're watching Braves football on the Flint Hills Live channel on TCT.
The Deuce.
Team who is passionate about its mission, work, customers, and the communities. Contact us today, 620-767-5119, or apply online at www.alcagen.com/careers. Adams Home Store has been family owned and operated since 1969. They offer construction services for custom homes, outbuildings, boat docks, and more. Adams carries supplies for farmers and ranchers and has a big inventory of grilling, boating, and camping accessories. Located at 203 East Main in Council Grove, go Braves! Together with veterans in Morris County, Kansas, hopes to enlist rural veterans and their local partners to join forces to reduce veteran and civilian suicides in their communities. To learn more, join their Facebook group. Please remember, help is always near. It's okay not to be okay.
All right, here we go, Braves fans. 48 seconds left. Braves and Bears tied 6 apiece. Braves faced with a 3rd and 11, one timeout in their pocket. St. Mary's with one timeout left. Stewart claps his hands, going to go ahead and tuck it and run, and he's going to be ankle tackled. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down, and if I'm Coach Reddick,
Clock running here. He can snap it one more time. He can run it all the way.
there's 1 second between the game clock and the play clock, so see what Council Grove decides to do here. They're going to go right here. Stewart, far side boundary. It's going to be tipped up in the air and almost intercepted. Oh, my gosh. So it's going to be a turnover on downs, and St. Mary's has the ball with 20 seconds left.
I don't like not going to the end zone there and snapping it with 2 seconds and making it the last play. It's a little scary when the ball because
that gets tipped and it could have been a pick six.
He picks that. Luckily, Saeed was over there. He probably catches him, but that's a dangerous play across the field.
So if you're St. Mary's here, you got a pretty decent passing attack. You only got 20 seconds left and only one timeout left. Everything has got to be caught in front of you. Do not let anybody get past you. And I tell you what, with St. Mary's getting the ball to start the second half, they're going to basically go into the locker room and not take any chances. All tied up at 6 apiece. And we're going to get some halftime entertainment with some homecoming. We're going to take a quick break here, total up some stats, and what a football game. And Mindy just said it. I've got to have to credit her for it. That might have been the fastest half of high school football I can remember, and that was 58-second half. 58-minute half. Holy cow. We're going to take a quick break. Get back. Don't go anywhere. Should be a fun second half. You're watching Braves football on the Flint Hills Live channel on TCT.
The Deuce.